Good day, ladies and gentlemen, and welcome to another edition of A&W podcast. I'm your host, Mr. A.D.E, Mr. Africans to Everything.
And I'm Mr. WALE, Mr. Walls. Hello, guys.
Yes, welcome to our new settings. As you can see, social distance is over, so we can sit closer to each other and look at each other and talk closer and then make things happen. So I'm going to let you kick off today because we have a very serious topic to discuss.
Yes.
And please, take the floor.
Yes. Guys, just to kind of like start off again, welcome again. We've missed you guys, but today's topic is something that is actually current in London, and I feel like it's something that we need to sort of like address and speak on, and that's mainly to do with like the stabbings in London. And today is the 4th day in June, and the last few days has been more or less bloody in London, from like stabbings in Open Park to stabbing in block of flats to actually seeing footages of like group of boys literally carrying weapons, which I wouldn't even just describe as knives. They're more like swords and machetes, and these are things that is concerning for us, especially being a father, and also very concerning for both myself and my brother because it's very, very much in our community. So we feel like we need to speak on it on this episode, and just to kind of like understand the reasoning behind such epidemic that's clearly happening in our environment, and also what we can do to sort of make ourselves more aware, because a lot of our young black boys and black girls are dying on the streets, and it's sad, very disheartening, you know.
I heard what you have to say. London right now is, with the teenagers, is just going out of hand with the stabbings, you understand? And I'm looking at footages that I've seen, and it's very scary. Like, I've seen knives in my kitchen. They're like this, but this knife that these kids are carrying are long like a baguette. Where are they getting this knives from? I mean, do they sell this knife in the street, or do they make it by themselves? Because I don't understand how you're gonna be carrying almost 10 inches knife, 15 inches knife in your trousers. You don't even worry about if it's gonna cut yourself or anything bleeding. And I don't know why it's being glorified nowadays in our society, especially within young kids. I would say kids because the latest stabbing that I heard of, they're ranging between the age of 14 and 13. And I'm just thinking, at the age of 14 and 13, when I was that age, I wasn't thinking about anything like that. I was just thinking about school, coming back home, go and play outside. You understand? But it's not now. The playing outside for these young ones is like carrying a knife. You understand? And it's very scary. I mean, I haven't witnessed anything with my own eyes, but the footages I've been seeing, even like the one that you said about the block of flats, these were not kids. These were grown up men, like fighting each other with knife. Like, what is it about? I don't know. Maybe I'm just cut from a different cloth because maybe, like people say, maybe it's the music that they listen to, like grime, whatever it is that's influencing them. When I was growing up, what I listened to was rap, and when I was listening to that rap, I didn't listen to it to try and portray what I'm hearing in the music onto somebody outside. You understand? And I listened to gangster music. I didn't listen to no soft music. I listened to stuff like Mobb Deep, Tupac, all these people that are saying stuff in their music. You understand? But I didn't let that influence me to go and do something really stupid outside. But like, it's just scary how our teenage boys and girls are just losing their life rapidly in the UK. One thing that I was surprised the other day that was shocking to me was I saw police actually standing in front of school after when kids come out of school. And I was so happy to see that, because at least they're making the effort. They're making efforts to make the people feel safe. But when they leave that school premises, who's protecting them? You understand? And this is so scary. I don't have no solution of what to tell, because we're gonna keep saying it again. Stop killing each other, stop killing each other. But it doesn't seem like it's entering or resume in their head.
Sorry to cut you off. What I can sort of say in regards to this whole stabbing and knife crime is there's two or three major things we need to look at. We need to look at the psychological reason behind such hatred and such lack of value of life. That's one. And also we need to understand the deep-rooted issue of this whole, as they call it, postcode war. This is me being honest with you. A lot of it boils down to drug dealing. Whether a lot of people want to accept it or not, majority of the issue to do with knife crime and gun crime right now is mainly to do with drug dealing. So to kind of break it down, let me kind of like go into a few things for you. In our community, there's a lot of poverty, which is a fact. And one way of coming or getting out of poverty is by selling drugs. So when we're thinking about a lot of the young kids that are doing the stabbings now, it's more to do with, or in some cases, it's to do with, I've gone to a location to sell drugs, this other person sells drugs there, I've gone to rob them, they've come to rob me, I've got to get my own back, you've gone back to your dealer. As a young kid, clearly you don't have access to these weapons that we're talking about, but some of these older drug dealers have access to these weapons. So they'll give a young child that's 14, 15 the option of saying, you know what, you've just had my drugs that I gave to you on credit stolen. So you either go and get it back one way or the other, or you owe me. So if the child now says, okay, I want to get it back, but I don't have the access to weapons to get it, they'll supply them with guns, supply them with wet knives. And because this child feels like they're in debt and they have to get it back one way or the other, that's why you see random gun crimes, knife crimes. I mean, personally, I saw one that is actually close to where I currently live, and it was shocking because the area that I live in is meant to be like a family-friendly area.
Posh,
as they call it, I wish. But me going to work on a normal day, coming back home just to see police all over the place was shocking for me, because what it actually did was to show me that as much as I was thinking, okay, I've moved out from certain location, and I was thinking, yeah, I've moved away from it, it can happen anywhere. Another example of how crazy it is in London right now, there was a 50-year-old man in Islington that wanted to stop someone from being robbed. He got killed. And this was a 50-year-old white man, a flower seller in Islington. So what we're saying is, this problem is so deep-rooted that if we don't find a solution now, many people are going to end up being personally touched. And I would like to say this now, yes, we can blame the government. We can say, oh, why have they not done this, why have they not done that? What are we parents doing as well? Where's the protest for our young black boys and young black girls that are getting killed by themselves? Last year we were able to do like the whole George Floyd protest, which is all fine. What about the problem that's happening in our own home? You know, and part of the problem also stems from the foundation in the household. Yeah, because let's not deceive ourselves. A lot of our young black boys, by the time that they're 14, 15, 16, yeah, they're like 5 foot, 6 foot, nearly 7 foot sometimes. And when they're going through that puberty stage, there's a lot of challenges out there. And if you're not in a household where there's a dad and a mom, or a father figure and a mother figure, that whole discipline thing is out of place. So imagine how difficult it is for a single mom to put discipline in place for a 14, 15-year-old son that's about 6'2", and she's only 5'1". How easy would it be for her to be able to do things like searching his bags to see if he's carrying any weapons? Even with that, let's not deceive ourselves. Most of these kids don't actually bring the weapons into their house.
Nope.
They leave it with their friends, they leave it outside near their house, they leave it somewhere that's easily accessible. So what we need to do as parents and as community is to tap into their psyche. We need to understand what is it that is hurting us to make us hate ourselves so much. And like my brother said earlier on, it is being glamorized. And we need to stop that, because some of this, especially some of these blog pages, 1 minute you post, oh, rest in peace for someone that got stabbed, but then next minute you're posting a music that's literally promoting stabbing. So we need to understand ourselves as a community. Do we want to resolve the problem? Do we want to glorify the problem? Or are we just going to sit back and watch our children getting killed in the community?
One thing that I'm going to say about that is also, he was saying that exactly earlier on about why should we blame the government and this, that. I think right now the government need to give power back to their parents.
I get it.
Do you get what I'm saying? When I was miserable and not trying to respect, I got beatings. I got scars to prove that. You understand? From day one, and that thing put a fear in me. They need to give power back to the parents. If you smack your child, they will take the child away from you. No, take that away, because that's why they're dying. And in my household, if my child misbehave, I will smack him. I don't care. I was raised differently, and the same raising that I was used to make me survive to this age, I'm gonna use it to make my child survive. So if you wanna come for me, come for me. I don't care. But my child, I prefer his life to be alive, so I can tell stories. Oh, remember when you were 16 years old? No. Oh, my son was 16 years old when his life got taken away. You understand? Young child are dying left and right, and we're just sleeping there saying that the government is to be blamed. They're not putting no action. Take hold of your child. What did we do to our bro when he was trying to be a gang member?
But anyway, we're not gonna go into personal experiences.
We're not gonna go into we took care of him, not took care of him as the way you're thinking of him. We hold on to him like we're not letting the street take you.
Yeah, we showed him tough love.
Yeah.
So also to kind of like go into that a little bit more. Yes, we as parents, we need to understand our children more. As a teenager, I did a lot of things that I'm not too proud of, but at the same time, there were certain things that kept me grounded. Like for example, I remember like when I was younger, my dad used to say to me, when you get yourself in trouble, it's not just yourself that you're disgracing. You're literally putting a shame on my own name, and that was my father's name, which is my surname. So what we need to do, like you said earlier on, I don't want to accept defeat and say some of these kids are already lost in the system, but what we might need to do for the future generation, because let's not forget, some of the children that are doing all of this craziness now, sooner or later they're going to have children as well.
If they grow enough to have children.
Which is another fact, but just imagine they grow up and they try to put that same evil mindset into another generation. So what we're aiming for is hopefully get to know your children, get to know your children's friends. Don't be, for example, parents, your children don't work, your son don't work, but he comes home with new clothing, designer, jewelry, the sort of circle of friends that he has. This should give an indication of, okay, is my child working 9 to 5? Or is my child living the street life? And the saddest thing is, some of the parents are turning a blind eye to the action of their children because the children are helping them to pay the bills in the house. It's sad because what you're literally doing is planning for your child to fail, because there's only two ways they will end: in jail or dead. And the worst thing is to see a parent crying in front of TV that, oh, my child was such an innocent child, but he got killed in the street. So let's be mindful of these things. Let's take actions. Yes, a lot of people might watch this and say, oh, what are you guys doing physically? But to me personally, like I said initially, we need to tap into the psychological issues with these children. Because let's be real, a child that sells drugs is more likely to make 10 times more money than a child that goes to 9 to 5. But the sad thing about that is, a child that goes to 9 to 5 has his freedom, has his life, probably have a structural system in place, yes, and it's not institutionalized. A child that sells drugs is more likely to be killed, to be very evil in terms of heartless, carry weapons, and more likely going to end up in jail or dead. Yeah, I want to give you a specific example. My son at the moment is almost 16, but at the same time, my cousin has a son that's the same age. Difference is, my son is going to finish secondary school soon. My cousin's son, he's now being held by the police because on 3 different occasions he's been found. This is a child that lives in Plumstead, and he's been found in Scotland in a drug house on 3 different occasions, to the stage that the police are now saying to the parents that if you guys don't take a hold of this issue, your child could be killed. The parents could be targeted, because if the child loses the drugs, they will come for the family members. So this is an issue that's very close to home. Also, last year we lost a cousin that's 19 years old through gunshot. So these are things that we're not just speaking out of line. We feel this very near and dear to us. So it's happening a lot, and it's been happening too much. So we need to find a way to sort of collectively resolve this issue.
And I was before you came today, I was thinking like, do they need to ban knife companies, or do they need to start thinking of making knife in a plastic way? But the thing is that they will still find, because the knife that these kids are using are not normal knives.
Yep.
They're not normal knives.
Most of these knives are not even bought from shops.
So
they're bought from black market, which means we don't see. That's another thing that we need to understand. A lot of these children, especially kids between the age of 13 to 20, most of them are not on WhatsApp. Most of them are not on Instagram. The 2 main things that they use, or the main thing they use now, is Snapchat. And the main thing about Snapchat is, once you post something, it deletes in 24 hours. So being able to leave traces is very difficult. So we need to, like I said, understand the way of thinking of these children. We were all children at one stage. We were all teenagers. So let's go back to what challenges we were thinking of back then, trying to fit in, trying to be hood, you know, trying to be hood, as they say. You know, what did it lead to? You know?
Well, I think I would say stop messing with each other, stop killing each other, stop taking each other's life. I mean, especially now that the sun is out.
And it's not even summer yet.
And this thing, I was just thinking, like, imagine Boris locked down again.
I mean, who knows?
Who knows? You don't understand? So just try and keep safe out there, man, because we're gonna keep saying it, but something needs to change. Yeah. Something needs to happen.
Yeah.
Something needs to, like, like, it's got to me so much that I don't even wanna hear anything about stabbing anymore, because it's like, it's every single day. I'm sorry that I have to say it like that, but it's like, it's every day. And how are you gonna be looking like kids, just even the one that happened in your premises that I saw the video clip, they were telling this grown man, stop, grown men Not kids, grown men. Stop. And you guys are still trying to cut each other like. I don't understand it, man. I don't understand it. We can't say it's the drugs that they're smoking. Nah.
It's deeper than that.
Yeah.
That's why, in a way, this is a platform where we want to hear ideas. We want to hear like experiences, knowledge, expertise. Because there's no one solution to it. We just have to understand that this is a problem that is terribly affecting our community. Like, for example, the Black Lives Matter lady, she was in a party in Peckham and she got shot in the head. Where's the protest for her? Where's the protest from parents about the young kids that are dying? We need to do this on a mass level.
But the thing is though, because remember we had a discussion about protesting.
Yes.
But the thing about protesting is that what's going to happen after protesting?
Very true. I mean, like I said, there's no one solution, but we have to try something. We need like parents needs to do more. Yes, we can say the government should do this, the government should do that, but the government are not the one giving our children.
They're not looking at us.
The government are not the one giving our children money to go and buy these knives. Who are giving our children access to money that they're using in a destructive way? That's the real question we need to ask, But like we said, solution is what we're trying to achieve with this podcast. So hopefully this is an episode that a lot of people can relate to, and leave your comments, share your knowledge, share your ideas. We're open to suggestions, and if there's any organizations out there that's willing or have some sort of structure in place to help children, reach out to us. We're happy to put you out there, advertise your products, so at least that way we're all working together as a unity,
And also, if you're rolling around with friends that are stabbing, if that's your kind of stuff, I won't ask you to do whatever. But if you want to get out, there's a way out.
Yes.
There's a way out. You can get out. You have to. Mom, go to your parents, go to your dad. Mom, I owed this guy money and he said if I don't pay him, he's gonna do me. What are you going to do for me?
Yes.
Fly me out of the country. If you can't take me to Africa and I'll disappear for a little bit, that will work.
Anything
will work. You understand? There's a possible way out. Listen, the reason why I'm saying that to you is because I used to live that lifestyle. You understand? I used to want to be this bad guy that I wasn't at all. But as soon as I changed my lifestyles, changed my thinking, I came out of it. You understand? The people that I used to have problem with, we see each other on the road now, even nod each other like, If that's it, nod each other like, So if you think that there's no way out, there is a way out. You just have to speak to the right people.
Yeah.
And ladies and gentlemen, I think that's it for this edition. Look after yourself.
Yeah. Stay
protect
safe.
your children.
Yes.
Children, protect yourself.
Yeah.
You understand? Because sometimes some innocent children might just be in the wrong place at the wrong time. So we're not saying all children are bad. Some are missing.
They're just pure victim.
Yeah, you understand.
Being in the wrong place at the wrong time.
And the people that are actually doing it, probably they don't get proper love from home. You understand? And so sometimes it's just like good to just say, you know what, bro, I love you.
Yeah.
You understand?
Let's love each other more.
Because I think that's the only solution to make it happen.
So on that subject, guys, have a lovely day and stay safe. Look after yourself.
Thank you.